The health specifics and grooming. Grooming and health are two sides of the same coin. Proper coat care plays a significant role in animals' health, and so, in many cases, the medical condition of the client dictates the grooming style. Of course, in tandem, health is a primary concern. There are many averages of pet owners, although in practice that statement is not always true. We meet clients that insist on certain fancy haircuts for their aging bodies, despite the fact that it could be harmful. In some cases, when reasons can prevail and desires of the owner condition over the animal medical condition, the expert and groomer has to find a way to do the job without causing harm to the animal or refusing the request. Below we have some advice verified by experience. There is no need to remind the necessity of preliminary evaluation of health conditions or the animal coming for grooming. That much is obvious and allows the groomer to avoid many troubles when the owner inspects his or her pet. Number 1. Skin condition. Skin condition that may influence the groomer's work includes, but are not limited to, the following: skin parasites, allergies, wounds, irritation, molds, bumps, fatty skin, dry skin, abnormal shedding, seborrhea, and alopecia. Every one of these abnormalities is various combination of them needed a specific approach. The fight with those abnormalities starts with the diagnosis. The experienced groomer can determine most of their own, but sometimes there is a need for veterinarian opinion. Parasites. Most common skin parasites are fleas, ticks, ringworms, and demodex. Fleas infestation appear from scratching, especially on the back. Usually it's easy to find fleas on the coat with a flea comb. Sometimes the flea themselves are hard to detect, but certain powder like blood-green flea feces gives them away when present. It is easy to distinguish regular dirt and flea feces, but put it on a wet paper towel and around the flea feces there will be reddish hollow. Flea's feces came of blood consumption, while non-feces dry will have no red shallows. Keep in mind and explain to the owner that 90% of dogs' fleas live on the beds and the floor of the apartment, and only up to 10% of animal itself. They just jump on the animal for dinner. Cold weather is not artificial protection from fleas. In the fall, when the temperatures fall, fleas often become even more aggressive than in summer. They also prepare for winter and looking for warm places with plenty of food. A flea bath is most efficient way to avoid fleas. Just follow the instructions of the out-of-the-counter flea shampoo to which animals it can be applied, how long to wait before washing it off, and etc. Another way to kill fleas on dogs and cats is to give them special medication like Capstar or something similar. To kill the fleas that are present is not enough. Preventive actions like Frontline and Advantage and others of similar brands should be taken, as well as thorough cleaning of the place where animals live. It should be noted that fleas on their turn may be cause for other health problems, intestinal worms and allergies. Another type of surface parasites are ticks. Ticks are small arunculates which suck blood through small skin bites. Usually these bugs live on wilderness and attack animals while walking through the grass. Tick may suck several times their own weight in blood in a single meal. Unfed, the ticks are about the size of period on a page, but when they drink enough blood, they can become the size of a peanut. The problem with taking these bugs off consistent of removing their head and jaw completely. If you just put the bug off, its head may be left in the skin and strong jars will stay inside of the animal, which may cause obsession and other problems. To make the tick unclamp their jar, the groomer has to issue a really hot pincer or pair of tweezers. When the hot tools touch the tick, it opens the jar, becomes easily removable. Besides being unpleasant looking and more ranging, ticks can transmit some dangerous diseases, which is why it is good to advise owner of the animal that with ticks to have the animal examined by a vet. Ringworm. The parasites that cause ringworm fungi cannot be seen without a microscope, but the result of their intrusion is easily recognizable. Usually it's bald spot in the skin. These bald spots have clear edges and they do not itch. Treatment of this condition is a job of the vet, but the groomer that identify ringworms has to be cautious because ringworms is a highly transmittable disease from people and animals both. Furthermore, some organisms may transmit the fungus that cause ringworms without visual signs of disease on themselves. One of the worst things that can happen to the groomer is to become part of the chain of ringworm transmission. The next skin parasite that is important for the groomer work is Demodex mitis, and tiny. It's small, that's of the width of the human hair, but bug that lives inside of skin. When Demodex gets into hair follicles, it runs the hair and the skin looks bald with a few rare hairs and the bald spots. The treatment of demodecosis is also a vet job, and the groomer just has to be able to recognize this problem and refer owner to the doctor. Although both the ringworm fungus and Demodex are pretty common in small numbers among any animals, and the pathology may visibly only in certain conditions like weak immune system, constant alertness of the groomer's nightmare should push the professional to strive for the cleanest and the most sterilized workspace and environment. Allergies. Although allergies are fairly common among animals, these days there are only a limited number of things a groomer can do. Ask the owner about known allergies, keep records of all known allergies and avoid them. Use proper products for grooming, and if necessary stay towards hyperallergic shampoos, hyperallergic tools, covers, and so on. Fortunately, allergies are not a transmittable condition. Unfortunately, it's difficult to predict what can be allergen and what will affect. You need clients to a few chemicals, and cleanser workspace should be part of the everyday practice. Wounds and irritation. Although wounds and irritation can happen during grooming, the significant part of them, according to our experience, occur before the pet even steps in the grooming salon. A careful examination of animal before grooming will save the groomers a lot of nerves, because even an honest owner may not know about such things. Jumping into the bushes, playing with other animals, unprofessional home grooming, and other circumstances may be the source of injuries and irritations. Irritation also can be covered by dirty mates, the hair, and may be caused by scratching. If you notice any injuries or irritation, the owner has to be informed right away, and the wounds must be disinfected. Washing and drying irritation spots has to be done with special care, slowly and delicately. Moles and bumps. It is good practice to examine the whole body of a patient, especially the old one, by hand before starting any grooming procedure. Even a comb may cause a cut if there is a mole or bump in the skin in thick-coated animals. Oily or dry skin, hair condition. As soon as the animal appears on the groomer's table, the quality of its skin and hair has to be determined. It is normal for a certain amount of oil produced by skin glands to be present to make the skin more elastic and waterproof. Often the balance is off, and either higher or oily skin or lower dry skin that requires. This misbalance causes an improper share of the coat and special measures to improve the skin condition and to look of hair that are necessary. To fix the problem, the groomer has to use the proper shampoo. This shampoo must either remove an extra fat on the skin surface or add some healthy ingredients as they are missing. Hand examination is usually enough to determine the situation. Shedding. Seasonal shedding is normal for any dog or cat. Twice a year the coat has to be changed, and from winter coat to the summer one and vice versa. Usually these changes occur in spring and autumn. But urbanized animals who live without natural temperature and daylight hours change. The trigger of these seasonal changes is obscured. Some dogs and cats change their coat on the regular schedule, even do it through the year. It is an unpleasant situation, and there is no chance to turn the animal back into natural cycle. Shedding it becomes the groomer's duty to fix the problem. Intestine brushing and blowing of the coat will remove that hair quickly, and after the few hair will start to grow. Seborrhea is a pretty common skin disease, which is caused by malfunction of the sebaceous glands of the skin. It can be simulated by bad nutrition, skin infections, and individualized specifically, or hormonal misbalance. Treating the condition is a bad job, but groomers can use specific anti-seborrhea bath for temporary relief. Alopecia. Sometimes groomers' patients come to the salon with a widely spread bald spots on the skin, but the baldness is not a sign of fungal intrusion. Usually, hand examination allows the groomer to feel separate and rare hairs within the bald spot. It could be scar tissue as the result of past burns. If it is, it's just pure, put some skin cream on it for comfort. Or other cause will, like hormonal deficit and genetic specificity of the animal. The most obvious examples of such genetic baldness are hairless breeds like Chinese crested and few others. Also, alopecia may be an idiopathic condition, which means that caused the baldness is unknown. Investigation into the cause is a task for a doctor, and his recommendation for skin care is a must for a groomer. Number 2. Tear staining. Some dogs with a white and light color fur often have dark spots under and around eyes that are the result of misfunctioned tear ducts. The mechanism of the misfunction may be different. Occasionally it's reactive tear production dries for eyes irritation by the surrounding hair. Sometimes these spots appear because tear ducts are inflamed. Excessive tears wet the hair around the eyes, and these wet spots attract bacteria that can change the color of the spots and cause an unpleasant odor. Keeping the hair around the eyes clean is part of the groomer's job. Treating tear dust is the vet's job. The groomer can eliminate the discomfort hairs, cover the area with protective cream or powder, and instruct the owner about the proper eye care for the pet. Number 3, nail and paw abnormalities. Nail care is important not only for beauty purposes but for the health of animal as well. Some cats are too lazy and have no opportunity to sharpen their nails properly, and so they grow so long and curved that they can start normal and soft tissue under them. Regular nail cuts are necessary in such situation. Dogs' nails are not as sharp as cats, but they protect the dog fingers from rocky grounds and they grow continuously. If the dog doesn't walk frequently enough on hard surfaces and spends too much time on the carpet, its nails become longer than needed. Excessively long nails push the legs into the wrong position and may cause unhealthy pressure on bone structure. It is better to start trimming nails from the entire dog from the early age, and the first nail cut should be done as early as at the end of the first months of the puppy's life. Inside the nails there is a blood vessel, quick and sensitive tissue, which is why the extra part of the nail has to be cut carefully. So if it's not, it harms the underlying living tissue. The paws of the pads of the paws are covered with rough tissue to protect the dog from abrasions of the ground. These spots might get too dry and not elastic enough, which may result in cracks. In order to prevent this painful situation, groomer has to use some oil cosmetic creams on these spots. Health and respiratory diseases. Usually, okay, let me start.